Good afternoon and welcome to Matchday Live, where the team are back home and hopefully back to winning ways against Coventry. Joining us for this one to hopefully be our good luck charm.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we hope. It's Jermaine Beckford. How we doing,
I thought you were going to say my son Ren.
Oh, I'm Ren. Sorry. Yeah, but they can't see Ren.
They can't see Ren.
Basically, we have a miniature cute version of Jermaine Beckford
Come
chilling here.
Quickly.
Come say hi. Come here. Come
quickly.
say hello.
He's coming.
And he's in his full kit, the dedication.
Come here, quickly,
where's your kit?
quickly.
Come say hi.
Underneath.
Come say hello. Look in that camera there and give them a wave. Ren, are you going to be our good luck charm today?
Yeah.
Yes. Hang on, what's your score prediction?
1-0 Leeds.
1-0 Leeds,
We'll
we will
take a
take
win.
that, won't we? Thank you so much. He's
Cheers,
desperate
mate.
to get back onto his iPad, aren't you, darling? We'll let you go. Oh, no, he's stealing the show now. Right, we're going to have to talk to your daddy for a minute. Is that all right? So cute. Hopefully our good luck charm. Look,
crossed.
before we look ahead to this game, let's just reflect for a moment on Tuesday's performance against Sunderland, because it wasn't a classic Leeds United performance, was it?
No, it wasn't. There were elements of the game that were impressive. There were elements of the game that were disappointing. And one of the most frustrating parts of it has to be the lack of composure in the final third. The final pass, the final shot, the final cross. That's the part that just annoyed me a little bit, because I know we're capable of playing really, really expansive, really exciting football, which we did at times, but look, we're allowed to have an off day. That broke up a great run of results for us, unfortunately, but it just means we get to start another one. You know, so fingers crossed that starts here at Elland Road today.
I like that positive attitude. Another thing as well is credit to the opposition, because Sunderland were very organised and it paid off in the end for them.
They were frustrating to watch from an offensive point of view, but from a neutral perspective, or from a Sunderland's fans perspective, you've got to say, wow, they followed the game plan perfectly. They did everything that was expected of them and more, obviously getting the goal to win the game as well. Bellingham, wasn't it? It was Joe Bellingham. The kid's fantastic. He's got a great future ahead of himself.
And great genes in that family.
He comes from good stock, apparently. But look, they played really well. They did what they were supposed to do. They frustrated us. They sat really deep. They had a bank of 5, a bank of 4, and then one rogue player, just in case they were able to try and get out, hit us on a counter-attack. And they did it really well. Not many other teams will be able to withstand 11 or 12 shots I think we had in that game and not concede a goal against us. So I'm putting it down to one game. It's unfortunate, but it happened and we move forward with it.
And Daniel Farke kind of echoed what you've said there, Bex. You know, he wasn't too critical of them because for all intents and purposes, this was a blip. But we both know that he'll have been working on things between then and now.
Yeah, absolutely. Defensively, we gave away far too many opportunities, far too many chances, and he'll look at those elements, but he'll also look at how to be more ruthless in the final third. There were lots of, there were lots of parts of the game, Ethan Ampadu and Kamara in the midfield, who were fantastic, I felt. Archie Gray needed a little bit of assistance, a little bit more help. They almost targeted him and played down his side of the pitch a little bit more often than not. Obviously, when he got himself booked, you know, for me as an attacker, I'm thinking that's perfect. Now I'm just going to go whole hog and go for him, and that's exactly what they did.
Because you know you can.
Because they know you can. Yeah, you're either going to get past him or he's going to bring you down. And if he brings you down, look, he's already on a yellow card, so we all know what happens next.
Look, we talk so often about the importance of being back here at Elland Road, especially in the run of form we've been on at home since the start of the season. But how important is it that we do relish every single opportunity that we are here at Elland Road?
It's vital. It's vital. Look, home form usually wins you promotion, and our home form on current basis has been fantastic, absolutely electric. Fans here have been amazing. Away fans have been unbelievable, don't get me wrong, but you know, when you're an opposition fan and you're coming here, listening to the sound of the crowd going absolutely bonkers, especially when there's a tough 50-50 challenge that the players have just won, or we've just scored a goal, you can almost literally physically see the emotion draining, the confidence draining from the opposition players, and that's the sort of stuff that helps the team go out and do really well here. So fingers crossed, long may that continue, and I'm excited, so is Ren. about being here and watching this game today against Coventry.
Well, let's just touch on the opposition, because Coventry, they've had a bit of an up and down start to the season, but they've only lost 1 of the last 6, so they are going to be a threat today, aren't they?
They are, and the last two games have been pretty good for them as well. You know, they beat Birmingham 2-0, which is you know, it's one of those games where you would, from a neutral angle, you would say it's a must-win game. It's a team that's around where they are in the league as well. So to make sure they're able to stay mid-table or even progress closer to getting to the playoffs again, similar to what they did last season, where they lost against Luton in the playoff final. They'll definitely be desperate to try and get back there. They've lost a couple of key players, don't get me wrong. But then the 1-1 draw with Southampton in their last game. Southampton have been on an incredible run of form as well. So for them to get those 2 results in the last 2 games, you have to argue they're not doing too badly. It's not going to be easy. Well,
we'll talk more about that shortly, and we'll talk about team news as well. But first, let's get the thoughts of the boss, Daniel Farker.
I rate him really high. I think he's doing a fantastic job with also limited resources, but the club has also developed and is meanwhile also like a pretty tough opponent also in this league. So we don't have to speak about last season when they made it into the playoff final. I think also the brand of football that he plays is nice to watch, and they always are brave. They try to attack, and I like a lot what they're doing. Obviously, they had a few changes on key positions after the last season, and then they need a little while to keep going in the season, but they're also on the good run and are climbing the table at the moment. So pretty dangerous, important, and pretty dangerous opponent tomorrow, and an important game for us. And I have lots of respect for Mark's work. I think he's a fantastic manager, and nevertheless, we want to win the points tomorrow. When you would have told us during pre-season, the beginning of the season, we had so many problems that we would be there with nearly a point average of 2 per game, and already after this amount of games already there with more than 40 points, everyone would have said that would be nearly a perfect outcome, and most of all the other seasons would have been enough to sit on top of the table. So so what we are doing, what the players are doing at the moment on the pitch, doesn't get worse just because some other teams are also doing great or doing even better. So I have to give credit and compliments to my players, what they've done so far. Obviously, the last game was sadly a disappointing outcome, but in total, I have to say what they're doing so far. They deserve all the praise, and they also can be proud of themselves what they have achieved. But it's about to keep going, to make sure that we keep going also in the same manner, in the same way that we perform, in the same way that we win many points. And if we do this, then we have a great chance also to be in a top class position come next May. Overall, a fantastic season. We are more than happy how he has developed also since we signed him. Was also you couldn't predict that it would work out that smoothly and on this level when we signed him, because he had also a few tough years, but he's doing exceptionally well. I think he had, especially in the beginning and after, I would say game day 6, many top class performances. I think the last performance was solid in terms of defending, the stability that he gives. Yes, sometimes his forward passing could be a bit more precise entirely in the recent games, but even if he doesn't have his best day, he's still there with a 7 out of 10, and this is also what we need in the middle of the park. You can't always expect that he organizes everything in the defense and wins many duels and wins many headers and shows already leadership in this moments, and he's always there with great assists, like the other day for Jorginho's fantastic goal. So he has the capability to show this. Yes, in the recent games he could have done perhaps in this terms the forward passes a little bit better, but it's also quite normal over the course of the season. Yes, that sometimes there's not a spotlight game, but he's still always there with solid and reliable performances. I'm more than happy that we have him.
Bex, he said there, he's not here to win the Nobel Peace Prize, but to win football matches. As a player, is that what you want, that honesty?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you know where you stand. There's no beating around the bush. There's nothing. He's not hiding anything from you. If he's upset with your performance, he'll let you know. If he's happy with your performance, he'll let you know. On the training pitch, they'll be putting in the work, and he'll praise them when needs be. But he'll also give them a telling off. Choice of words there. Give them a telling off as well when they need it. So with that comes all of the players understanding what's required and what's expected to play for a Daniel Farke team. Me personally, I would have absolutely loved to have played for him, because he helps you in the times where you need help. But he'll also tell you, look, don't be silly. This is what we're here for. Get the job done. And that's what he's doing. And
he spoke about Ethan Ampadu there as well, who's kind of gone under the radar recently, but he's so crucial.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. Both himself and Kamara beside him. I think those two have been fantastic this season. The last game or so, I think Daniel touched on there, the forward passing has left a little bit to be desired. However, you can't always blame the player that's passing the ball. You have to look around as well, who he's passing to. And if there's no real movement going forwards, then that could be one of the reasons why the forward passes haven't been as precise as they have been in the past.
And also Ethan Ampadu will know that, he'll be aware of that, and he's the kind of player and professional who'll be working on that. Another person he was praising as well was the Coventry manager, Mark Robins. There's clearly a lot of respect there for him, isn't there?
Yeah, Mark Robins is a fantastic manager, lovely guy as well. I incidentally worked with him in the past, a good few years back. And he's another one that tells you as it is. So he won't hide away or shy away from what he wants his message to the players to be. He was very unfortunate last season, got to the playoff final, lost to Luton, I think it was Luton. But look, for somebody to be able to get to that point in the first place shows an unbelievable character about him. So I'm a huge fan of his. I think he's done really, really well. But again, he's one of those managers that lets you know when you're doing the right things or the wrong things.
When you first started getting spotted in the street, Bex, what was that feeling like?
Mental. It was crazy. I think walking through Leeds City Centre, I just signed, and I signed maybe a day prior to going into Leeds City Centre, and I just remember walking through, going to Primark and then going to Zara because I felt like splashing the cash.
Love it. It's a bit of Primani.
Primani's a winner. And I got stopped by about 50 people. And I was thinking they must have me mistaken for somebody else. And when you hear people shouting your name, and especially when you're not used to it, was just such a surreal experience. And one that I'll never forget. I also went to Bali, I think it was one of my first ever holidays again. I felt a little bit extravagant.
I was going to say,
by
all
the
right.
end of it, I'll be honest. But
you were doing all right, weren't you?
I was broke by the end of the month, I tell you. But as soon as I landed in the airport, there were a couple of thousand people. And again, I wasn't expecting it because, I flew over there and, baggage class, and it was top drawer.
Well, another young man who wasn't expecting it is Archie Gray. Unsurprisingly, he is now getting spotted in the street, and LUTV caught up with him to find out just how he's dealing with it.
Well, Archie, we're returning to Elland Road this weekend to take on Coventry City, but just your thoughts on two tough away games in the Championship, and I guess it's the ups and downs of this division, isn't it? What are your thoughts on the trips to Blackburn and Sunderland?
Yeah, they're obviously two really tough games and two really tough opponents, and obviously we're just looking to bounce back again this weekend, especially after the last result. Blackburn was a good game, and Sunderland, sometimes we found it hard to play in the spaces that they made it hard for us. So yeah, it was a tough game. Both were tough games, but we're just looking to bounce back on the weekend. We've just been analysing some things we can improve on, and some things that we did well in the game, because you've always got to take the positives and negatives from the game, but mainly just creating more chances and staying more solid at the back and being focused at every moment in the game. And just, like I said before, just being ready to bounce back on Saturday. We've got a strong group and we've all got a strong mentality. So, we all just focus on the next game and, don't let our emotions get the best of us after a loss or after a win. We try to stay level-headed and be ready for the next game.
There's going to be a lot of teams this season who are going to make it very difficult for us as well. So that's something you've already been used to, but you've got to continue to do, haven't you, working out how to break these teams down that are going to sit in.
Yeah, definitely, especially when we're, I'd say, a possession-based side, and we're very, very good in the counter-attack. So teams are going to want to, try and stop that from happening. So obviously, some teams will make that hard for us and close gaps and try and stay as solid as they can. But we've just got to try and find our way around that in every game, and every team will try different things. So every game will be different. But
in recent games, you've laid a couple of goals on for Crescencio. Has he thanked you? Has he given you a special Christmas present for the couple of assists?
I think Creed did most of the work for that goal, the diving header. But yeah, it was important goal, especially against Middlesbrough. They were a good team, and it was an important game to get the win as well. So yeah, it was good. Yeah.
I know you'll all get asked, players at this stage of the season, about the festive period, all the games and everything. And what's your kind of mindset going into this period of time?
Just there's loads of games, so just trying to get as many points as we can and as many good performances as we can to just try and climb our way up in the table and just take every game as it comes, because there's obviously so many games in this period, and probably one of the most important periods of the season.
Unbeaten at Elland Road this season actually is something quite remarkable. 7 straight wins. How have you all managed to do that as a group?
Yeah, obviously with massive help from the fans. It's just you always try to do the best for the fans, and especially at a home game, it's absolutely mental, and you've just constantly got energy, because it's always loud, and you always want to do the best for the fans, and when you get a goal there's no feeling like it. So we just always try our best. And
yeah, we've had some crazy games at Elland Road this year, haven't we? We've had games where teams have come and again tried to sort of sit in, make life difficult, because it's a big scalp to come to Elland Road and get a result. So this weekend against Coventry, who are sat kind of just below mid-table, you expecting something similar from them? Have you done any sort of work on what to expect from Coventry yet?
Yeah, obviously they'll make it hard for us, and I'm not sure how they'll come, and we'll be doing analysis in the next few days of how they're going to come and prepare the game for us. So we just need to be ready on what they're going to bring, and obviously it'll be something different to the teams we faced so far, and they're a good team, and every game's a hard game in the Championship, especially in this period of time. So we just need to be focused and ready for that game.
He's such a mature and level-headed 17-year-old, isn't he? And he's been a mainstay in Daniel Farke's team for the entirety of this season, which speaks volumes about his talent. But as you'll know from your playing days, but also his character.
100%. One of the things I've been most impressed with Archie about is his ability to adapt to a whole new position, something that he's not been trained in at all. He's a holding centre midfield player or a box-to-box midfield player. He's been playing fullback, he's been playing right back pretty much the whole season, and he's looked unbelievable. He's not looked out of place at all. Physically, he looks great. He looks like he doesn't look like he's a kid playing the men's game. He looks like he's fully developed, which is great. He's a man playing the man's game. Exactly. So we saw in a few of the clips there as well. He's not afraid to put his body about as well, get himself stuck in a little bit, and confidence on the ball has been fantastic. But like you mentioned, he's just so level-headed. Coming from the Gray family as well, you would expect a little bit of confidence to be exuding from the body, but he's just chilled. He's such a relaxed, nice kid. Relaxed confidence, I think. Yeah. And just on that, team news remains unchanged from Tuesday night's defeat against Sunderland, which means Jed Spence obviously stays in place of Sam Byron. What are your thoughts on that? Because you could potentially think off the back of a loss that Daniel Farke might change things up a little bit. Do you know what? Yes and no. Depending on, I've had managers in the past, and if we'd lost the game, the players would get absolutely bullied in training, have to run miles and miles and miles in training, and then play on the weekend to prove that it was just a one-off. If it happened again, then you wouldn't see those players again. So it could be a little bit of reverse psychology, but also watching the game back, the team played pretty well, relatively well. We've seen Leeds play unreal all season, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 games, and this was just another version of that. I don't think we did many things wrong. There was only 1 goal in it. We had a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities to win the game. We didn't take them. So if we hadn't created any chances and he still picked the same team, then I would be a little bit concerned. But that's not the case.
Well, look, we've been full of praise for Archie Gray's performances on the pitch, but you know what it's time for, don't you?
Oh my God, this better be better than the last one.
I mean, I think it's got to be, and I don't think there's any way it can't be.
Worse, though, can it?
This week, Archie Gray got put through LUTV's Art Club.
Right, the little goatee. Ethan. Yeah. Oh my God, that's horrendous. Blonde hair. Pat.
Yeah, but he drew it before he dyed his hair.
Oh, what?
So
if Jaden didn't sign that, I'd think that's him. Totally forgot that sketch.
Do you know what I absolutely love? Is that every single player signs their drawings so confidently, like it's a Picasso piece, don't they?
I wouldn't be proud of those. I really wouldn't.
Do you have any idea who that is? Because I think that was a bit brutal. He gave them a really wrinkly forehead.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think for me, the telltale was the sign, that's the speech bubble that said goal. So I'm looking at that thinking, possibly Joel Peru?
Do you reckon?
Possibly.
No, I reckon Sam Barron. Not that I think he's got a wrinkly forehead.
Wow.
But do you know what? There's a WhatsApp number you can see on screen. Get in touch and let us know who you think that was that Archie Gray just drew.
Sam.
Don't you dare, don't.
She's out of order, Sam, mate.
I didn't say I think you've got a wrinkly forehead. That's all he needs, isn't it, when he's injured as well? Look, in terms of approaches, how do you expect Coventry to approach this game? Because they know what it's going to be like with this Leeds United side here at Elland Road.
I don't expect them to go toe-to-toe with us because it's a very difficult, very risky game, especially being away from home. You know, we're very good in and out of possession, dominate the possession really well, move the ball quickly. I would expect them to sit quite deep, similar to what Sunderland did. Try and sit deep, try and stay narrow, and hit us on the counter-attack as and when they get the opportunity to. Do I think it will work? I don't think it will work. I think if we get the early goal, it will open the game up a little bit more and force them to come out. So for a neutral, that's what we would want to see. But for me, I want us to go ahead after 2 or 3 minutes.
We do. Daniel Farker, is he going to stick to his approach? Like, you know, we know how his side plays.
Yeah. He's not going to change it. He doesn't need to change it. As I mentioned before, we created lots of chances. The only thing that I can see him altering ever so slightly are how we defend better as a unit rather than as individuals.
Well, Jermaine Beckford, the fans are in full voice and we are a matter of a few minutes from kick-off. So, the moment of truth, your score prediction.
I'm going to say confident 3-0 Leeds United.
Oh, 3-0, we'll take that. And what did Ren say, your little boy?
Ren, you said 1-0? 1-0 Leeds?
Yeah. We'll take either of those if it means we get the 3 points, won't we?
Yes,
right,
we will.
before we hand you over to your commentary team this afternoon of Bryn Law and Tony Dorigo, let's get the thoughts of Joel Peru.
Joel, disappointing result in midweek. Is this a good chance to put it right today?
Yes, definitely. It's another game at home where we can show our capabilities.
The home form has been really good so far. Can you keep that going much longer?
Yes, definitely. We want to keep going till the end of the season. So yeah, it's another good day to get the streak rolling again.
So when Coventry come here, the expectation the fans will have today is that you're going to win the game, but it's not usually that easy in this league, is it?
No, every game is tough in this league, and we just need to put on a good performance.
Do you feel under pressure in every game at the moment because of what's happening at the top of the table?
Well, no, we just have to look at ourselves and just need to keep winning games, and I think that's the hardest part of it, and that's what we just need to do.
So there you go, Joel Peru provides the perfect prelim to another game here at Elland Road as Leeds United seek to keep this excellent home form going. And now, more than ever, the pressure is on every game that Leeds play after a midweek setback, which was coupled with an Ipswich success, which means that even despite Ipswich dropping points at home in the midweek match, the midday game that they've just had with Norwich City, Leeds are still looking a long way ahead of themselves to try and keep the top two in sight. So they have to keep the run going here today against the Coventry City side that has struggled on the road. Just 2 away wins for them so far this season. They've been a much better team at home than they have away from home. So Leeds need to do what they have been doing. Leeds need to win the game.
That never changes, does it, Bryn? It really doesn't, unfortunately. You have to win, but at home we've been doing a pretty good job of that.
The Leeds United lineup has a very familiar look to it in terms of it being the same side that started the game on Tuesday night against Sunderland. So Jed Spence on from the off for the first time here in front of the home supporters. And got a little cameo role in a game much earlier in the season. Since then, has been battling back from injury and has put in away appearances. But today he's here at Elland Road in front of the Elland Road supporters, the Leeds United supporters, in what is yet another packed house on a bright winter's day here. It's not particularly cold, it's got to be said. So perfect conditions for the football, and Leeds hoping that with one more game to go before Christmas, there's a little gift put under the tree in terms of the outcome of this game today.
Yes, and I think they'll be really determined, won't they, to put right what happened Tuesday. That's why same 11, I like that from Daniel Farker, saying to the boys, go on, get out there, show me what you're made of. Before that, you've been playing really well. One blip doesn't mean everything suddenly gets thrown out. So at home, go out there and do the business.
Mark Robbins, Coventry City manager, familiar figure from both his playing and management career. He's done an excellent job with Coventry City since taking over in 2017. Imagine that, a manager who's been at a club since 2017.
And to think what they've been through, Coventry, as well. Yeah, he's done a really good job.
Kept it all together, got them back up the divisions, got into the playoff final indeed last season, where they were narrowly beaten by Luton Town. So they're on the cusp